What's up, guys? We are back once again, and we have another episode of Eden Zero, episode 22. And as always, I always say, if you guys have not watched this episode, go check it out, and then come back and let me know what you thought about it. But overall, this episode it was awesome. It was awesome, but it was also very emotional, and there's a lot to go over in this episode as well. And what we have is really going into not only Valkyrie's backstory, but also Homore's backstory, to where she finds information on where she is, and she starts running to her throughout the entirety of the episode. And we have flashbacks where when she found her, they started talking, and she started teaching her, and she kept saying, like, how much she enjoyed being around her, how much she loved her mentor, and just everything. I mean, she was young. I mean, she was, I would say, maybe 4 or 5, maybe. And then she got older throughout the time. And what was so cool is that you see where she's wearing a kimono with her. She's eating with her. She's pretty much become like a mother to Homori, because don't know exactly where her mother is, and she sees a like a little bear. She says, "Well, what is that?" She says, "That's something my mother gave me. That way I always knew that she'd be able to identify me no matter where she would be." She says, "But I thought your mother died out in the war." She said, "No, that she left the planet before the war, and that we were able to do all this, and that she wanted to try to make money." Well, years go by, and so she becomes more closer to Homori. It's been like 5, 6 years. Probably more. Homori's, I would say, a young preteen girl, and she gets into a fight with some group of guys making fun of Valkyrie, saying that, oh, she's hot, oh, she's this, and she's just a robot. How much would it be to sell for her? Why does she pretend to be your mother? And there's been several times in the episode where she gets a lot of crap for saying, oh, well, she's trying to pretend to be your mother and all this and that. And Homore is not taking nothing lying down, man. Like, she's literally telling people what's up with her mind. And that's something that Valkyrie's trying to teach her. Be like, look, you can't always say what's on your mind, because people don't like that. So she gets into a fight, and actually she gets into a fight with some guys, and one of them is, I guess, the son of a local official, and he just starts, he spoiled him very much, so he's like, okay, since this is going on with children, I'm just going to let it slide, just apologize to him, and we'll call it square. So she tells her, go ahead and apologize, and she says, no, I have nothing to apologize for, because he insulted you, and I was defending you. So what we have in this is where she starts just getting so upset and telling him how he's a disgrace, how he runs to his father and everything. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The animation in this episode was absolutely phenomenal. And one of the things that got me was there was a lot of crying in this episode with Homori. And you feel so bad for her, because she deserves a mother, but at the same time she has one. But Lady Valkyrie, after talking to this official, says that even though whether you're being raised by a robot or an actual person, it just depends on what you do and how you raise them and what you do for them. And so Valkyrie goes to the Time Oracle to try to talk to her and state about, well, okay, I want to do this for Homori. And she starts saying where she is, and we later find out, spoilers, that Madame Curie is her mother. And so she goes to the planet, and she was in the labor district, and she comes up with an idea of, okay, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to help you out by using the one that's a thief, after she hired him, to get her out so she can go back to her daughter. But she, unfortunately, did not, as we know. Apparently it was all an act. She married the former Baron, the ruler over that planet, and then she assassinated him and inherited everything and became very money hungry. So what's really interesting is we have where she got so money hungry that as soon as Valkyrie heard about this and that everything was an act, that she just really didn't care about Homore at all. She just got so angry where she was going to start ready to attack her, and somehow or other all these mind monsters came out and just started trying to attack the entirety of the district. And so she went all out, man. Like, it really got to see how powerful Valkyrie is. It got to really show her her power and show her spirit, and also who she was, not only as a character, but as a warrior, as a mother, pretty much. And she got so angry that she even stated, "Look, I am going to make this right. I'm going to bring her to Homare myself if I have to." And she used all her power to destroy hundreds upon thousands of ones in the in this armada full of monsters. And she says, "They don't call me Eden Zero's attack for nothing." And so she starts just using all her powers. And what was amazing is you saw how she just kept on going through them all. She lost one of her arms. She was just going through brigades and brigades of just monsters, and it really got me to where she just laid down her sword one final time. And she said that the one thing she regrets not saying to Homare is that she loved her too. And she does, and as soon as she does that, you see Homare finds her in that position, and Homare just loses it. You just see this emotion of her just crying because she's lost her mentor, her friend, her trainer, her mother figure, and not knowing who her real mother is, or not having a memory of her. And they just start losing it, and everyone's kind of coming together to give her space. But then Shiki goes to her and tells her that, when his grandfather died, he had his friends on his planet, and she has her friends now, and we're going to help her through this. And then we go back to Madame Curie and start saying about how she's going to destroy the rebellion, because they all knew they were waiting for Homare to try to find her, because they knew if Homare was going to get there, the rebellion was going to take the lead. And basically what we see is Homare going to somehow be leading this brigade of rebellion to against her own mother, which she doesn't even know that's her mother. And what's cool is that we see where they're like, "Well, didn't you can't do that? Didn't she get you out of the labor district?" And she's like, basically, like, "Hey, I don't really care about my daughter." And Shiki comes in, man. This guy here, man, he really shows her what's up, because he goes right through and he's like, "Which one of you is Madame Curie?" And then she's like, "Oh," and it basically tells her, "Hey, Homare's here, and I'm going to take you to her." And she's like, "Well, I have no interest in my daughter." And he just just stomps on the ground, and he just starts blowing up some of the building. And he's like, he says, "I'm going to bring her to you after I beat the crap out of you." So it pisses him off that much. And that's something, of course, if you guys are a Natsu fan, you guys already know what Natsu does. So there's a lot of Natsu's characteristics in Shiki, and I think it's the reason why a lot of people like him. Again, he's probably designed to be like another version of him. And this episode was really amazing. You really got to see a lot of not only Homare's background, but also Valkyrie's background. And I loved it. I loved this episode. I think it was absolutely amazing. The animation was amazing. This really made me feel for Homare. She's one of my favorite characters in Zero. I think she's a very amazing character. I think she's a very badass, beautiful, just an amazing character to really get to know and to watch and grow. And when she just started crying to see her mentor die, it really shows, how much she loved her, how much she loved Valkyrie, and how much respect she had for her. And now knowing that she may not be able to come back because her core is gone, it's dead. And that's pretty much the same thing if a human dies. So don't know if they're going to be able to bring her back, as well as how they're going to handle this rebellion with her mother. And once she finds out it's her mother, how's it going to go? So don't know, guys, but I really enjoyed this episode. What did you guys think about this down in the comments down below? Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Let me know what you think. I don't know what to say, but it was just an amazing episode. Nothing but great things to say. Comment down below, subscribe to the channel, click notifications. You guys know what to do. And I'll see you as always on the next one.